Hey, what's going on everyone? Thank you so much for joining me for this video. What we're going to be doing is painting some plastic fenders for my Yamaha V Star today. Please bear with me as this is my very first painting project that I've done for a motorcycle. You'll see me go through a lot of trial and error here. I make a lot of mistakes, but that's part of the reason why I wanted to make this video, because I'm a beginner, and if I can do it, then you absolutely can too. With that being said, if you have tips for myself or constructive criticism, then please leave those in the comment section down below, as I'm always trying to learn more because I would love to continue to do these types of projects in the future. Thank you guys so much for watching. Stay until the end of the video to see that final product, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Pretty happy with that first sanding treatment there. There was some sticky substance on this. I don't really know what it was. It could have been some sort of fluid. I have no idea. When I bought the bike, it was in a box with just a whole bunch of other stuff, so I'm sure stuff spilled on it. But first sand treatment there, that was with a 180 grit, as you saw before. Definitely want to get this substance off of here. I'm going to do the 180 grit one more time in the areas that I still see are glossy. That way we can get that top coat off of there. And yeah, we're going to work right along the line with some other sandpaper here. I got some 220. I also have some wet dry stuff as well that we're going to hit it with, but let's do the 180 one more time and see if I can get the substance off here a little bit better, and then also go over those areas that are still glossy. As you can see, like the curves are sometimes hard to get to for the first coat because you just got a whole bunch of debris, so you can't really see it. But let's go ahead and hit it again. Alright, so the 180 is done. It's been clean, looks really good, very smooth right now, way better than it was before with all that sticky stuff on there. So we're gonna go again with some 220 dry, that's a little bit finer, and we're gonna sand it down again. All right, 220 is officially done. Everything is roughed up real nice. Came out really, really good. All the gloss is gone. Everything is completely sanded down. All the corners and everything looks really good. Very happy with that result. So now what I'm going to do is, and again, I'm not really too sure if this is needed or if this is the wrong process, but this is what I've been doing. I hit it with a wet and dry and get it a little bit smoother than it is now. That way it's ready to be primed. Now again, this is just how I've been doing it. Let me know in the comment section down below if this is necessary. If it's the wrong step, I would love to know for future reference. So let's go ahead and hit it with this wet and dry, and should be good to go for priming after that. That's all done. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do the same exact process to the other fender here. I'm gonna do it on this one, and that will be 4 total pieces in all that I have that'll be ready for priming. Now this one's gonna be a little bit lengthier. I gotta take off these Yamaha stickers individually with a heat gun. Make sure I get those off. Go with a clean look with no emblems or logos on the bike because there's none on the tank. We'll do the same process, and yeah, we'll be ready for paint and primer. Alright, so here's the plastic pieces all prepped and ready to be primed. Now they are a little dirty, so you probably see that right now in the light. There's a whole bunch of dust all over them, but you get the idea. Preparation is all done, sanding's done. Time to be primed. We'll sand it after it's primed, see how that looks before we get started with the paint, but I'm really happy with how they're coming out so far. So let's get started with the next step. Alright, before we go ahead and throw on our primer, we're gonna make sure that the pieces are nice and clean. So I got a microfiber towel here that is nice and clean. So what I'm going to do is use this microfiber towel and use a little cleaning solution here to make sure that everything's cleaned off. And I do have gloves on because I don't want to get any oils or anything like that on the actual pieces themselves, because then it's not going to stick. So what I'm going to do is take all my pieces, I got 4 of them, and I'm going to clean them, and then I'm going to go ahead and prime them. So let's get these cleaned. Throw them inside of the little makeshift paint booth I got in cardboard and see what happens. pardon my crazy hair, but behind me over here I have a little paint setup. Now this is not, again, I'm not a professional, just kind of doing the best that I can here. So my garage is closed. I do have one little vent over here, but not really much wind is coming in through here, which is good because I don't want to get dust particles everywhere in the air and everything like that. I got all 4 of the other motorcycles outside of the garage so that there's no overspray there. Everything's covered up that I don't want to get paint on, so we're gonna do it over here in the corner. I got some cardboard set up, that way we don't get any overspray. We'll try and contain the primer and paint that we're gonna be using, but this is what I'm using. So if it works out like this, then you should be able to literally use any setup that you have to make it work. So let's go ahead and get priming and see how this comes out. All right, so we just finished the first process of primer, and man, they look really great. Just picked them up out of the box here with my gloves on, and very happy with how they came out. Definitely missed some spots because they're here in the cardboard. So obviously I'm sure you guys were watching the video and saying, dude, what the hell are you doing? But hey, again, this is just a learning experience for me. I'm gonna have to hang them because on the corners here, obviously not gonna be able to see in the video, but on the corners and stuff like that, there are some spots that I missed, so I'm gonna have to do a better process. I'm gonna take these out. There is a few spots on this one right here that need to be resanded, so I'm gonna take some super fine wet dry, and I'm gonna go over that, make sure that that's nice and smooth, check out the other ones and whatnot, and make sure that they're all good to go. And I'm gonna do it again, and this time when I prime the second time, I'm gonna make sure that I do a better job of getting access to all the nooks and crannies, like the corners and the sides. So very happy with how they came out though. Super solid. You can see this one really well. Yeah, they came out really great. So let's resand and go over it again. All right, the second coat of primer has been taken care of after sanding them back down with a finer grit sandpaper. I actually used 1500 grit wet or dry, and second coat of primer looks fantastic. I'm just so happy how these came out. Really good. See if I can get a nice little close-up for you guys on this one that you can see because the sunlight. Looks fantastic. Absolutely perfect. Absolutely perfect. So the first time I had them in the cardboard box to kind of limit the spray, but I said, what the hell, everything that is valuable in here that I don't want overspray on, I brought outside in the driveway. So I set them down like this, that way I could get to the corners a little bit easier, because the first time, spots like this down here and everything like that was really hard to get to, obviously it being in the cardboard box. So did it like this time. Very happy with how these came out. Let's see if I can get a few close-ups here. Very happy with how these came out. All right, so I've let these pieces dry for a while now. Again, they came out awesome. What I'm gonna do is hit it with a 1500 grit wet dry sandpaper to get it ready for the paint. That way the paint has a nice surface to adhere to. But these came out really good. Can't wait to show you guys the final product. Let's do it. Let's go ahead and let this dry. We're gonna do the same thing to the other pieces here. I'm gonna speed it up and cut the video, that way I'm not redundant, but we're gonna do the same process and get ready to paint. Okay, I use this paint here, matte black, and it clogged. And I was running into a lot of problems here, so hope everything turned out alright, but it really wasn't spraying properly. So we'll see how the first coat turns out. Just a nice small base layer there. Wasn't doing anything crazy. But man, this thing did not work well. See if I can get it unclogged for the second coat. Alright, this, no go. The entire top came off and it's terrible, it's clogged. So we're gonna have to move on to a different paint. It's the same color and everything like that, same exact thing, just a different brand. Shouldn't be a problem. But I was using this one for another project I was using, and it's not clogged, so I'm gonna go ahead and use this one. Maybe it was a user error. It could have been my fault, I don't know. Could be my fault. Nonetheless, let's keep it going. All the coats are done. I inspected them pretty closely, brought my flashlight over because I don't want to open up this yet, because I don't want debris to hit it because it's not dry obviously quite yet. But holy cow, did they come out really good. I can't wait to show you guys. Let's wait for this to dry a little bit. I'm gonna hit it with the clear coat as well. All right, we have the final product here. These look amazing. Man, I am very happy with how these came out. Looks awesome. If you see a little debris on there, just from the towel, a little dirty, but the paint came out perfect. Absolutely amazing. So let's go ahead, throw them on the bike, see what they look like.